Shri Krishna is now taking us to one of the most important sections of the entire Bhagavad Gita. I'll share the Genesis and then get into verse 20. That's the final verse we're taking up in this chapter. Infinity, out of love for us, expresses as divinity. Brahman as Bhagwan. Divinity, out of love for us, expresses as the Veda. Out of love for us, expresses as the Upanishad. Out of love for us, expresses as the Gita. Out of love for us, expresses as chapter 15. Everyone followed that flow of love from infinity to chapter 15. In chapter 15, verses 15 to 20, this is the spirit of the spirit of the spirit of the spirit of the spirit, and you can keep on going backwards. This section is one of the best sections of the entire Bhagavad Gita, verses 15 to 20. And so naturally, we're taking the final verse of this section. Iti guhyatamam shastram idamuktam mayanagha etad buddva buddhiman syat kritakrityascha bharata. Joy. Iti. All that has been shared in this chapter, which is the spirit, and specifically from verses 15 to 19, what I've shared is a Shastra. Bhagavad Gita is known as a Shastra or a science. This chapter also is known as a Shastra or science. Certainly 700 verses is a science, but Shri Krishna is declaring these 20 verses are a science. These 6 verses are a science. And it is Guhyatamam, the most secretive. Now that, as soon as we think of the word secret, we think of Mission Impossible, we think of shadiness and so on. Here, secretive means most valuable. Now, making this even more personal, most valuable means most impactful. It is what I'm teaching right now, as in Shri Krishna, that is the most impactful, what will transform us. Next quarter. Idam uktam, I have spoken this. Maya, this has come directly from me. I am this expression of infinity, divinity, Veda, and so on. And I love this word, Maya. Maya means from me. Maya is the antidote to Maya. The only difference between these two words is the length of the first A. If I'm struggling with Maya, I have to follow Maya, that which comes from Bhagavan Krishna. By following Maya, one becomes Anaga. Anaga means pure. How do you know you're not a hypocrite? You're following Bhagavad Gita. How do you know you're following Bhagavad Gita? You're becoming purer and purer and purer. Do you remember what I shared the vision of efforts for equality is? I'd shared this on Mahashivratri on March 8th. Nitya Shuddha. To create access to comprehensive purity. Shri Krishna is stating All that comes from me is for your comprehensive purity. This verse is like a if-then model. If line 1 is checked off, I'm in the third quarter. Etat, those who have followed through, buddha, they become wise. Buddhiman syat, because they're using their opportunity. Those who follow through are using their opportunity and they become wise. See, every one of us is buddhiman. We have an intellect. But only those who use this in a comprehensive way are buddha. They are the ones who are wise. I was sharing in London that we have passive verbs that we engage in Bhagavad Gita with. Like we hear it, we write it, we chant it. But who's living this? Wherever there is Nitya Shuddha, what's going to come from that? Nitya Buddha. Those who have purity have clarity. And now the final quarter. Bharata, Prince Arjuna, your potential is to be filled with light, the light that I talked about in many verses in this chapter. Krita Kritya. Krita means done. Kritya, to be done. For the one who follows this chapter that is the spirit, you will be done with what needs to be done. Nitya Shuddha causes Nitya Buddha, which causes Nitya Mukta. You become free. You re-become the spirit. Swami Tejamayana has shared lots and lots and lots on this verse. There's a culture, a practice to chant chapter 15 as one is eating. It's the shortest chapter. There's a specific verse about digestion, verse 14. Now, just because you chant these verses doesn't mean your sleeping and eating are going to become better. I've observed that we have a lot of passive verbs towards the Bhagavad Gita, like sleeping, eating, hearing, chanting, etc. That is not equivalent to following through. That will only come when we know the meaning of Bhagavad Gita and how that same meaning can be infused into these verbs to make them active. I'm trying to challenge everyone to not be satisfied with passive verbs towards this incredible or eternal map. In verse 15, Shri Krishna shares, Sarvasya aham hridi sam nivishta. Sarvasya means all. I've used that word twice already this morning. He, she, all. He, she, all. Aham. Shri Krishna's speaking in the first person. He's sharing this personally. Hridi, in all hearts. Sam means well. Nivishta means established, lives. Our Shri Krishna lives in our hearts. Our Shri Krishna lives in all hearts. Do you feel him as your spirit? To help this, in verse 20, Shri Krishna shares, Your only responsibility, your only purpose in life is to become anagha. Lots of smart parents name their kids anagha, thinking that's the same. That is legal. That is not the same as following Bhagavad Gita. Anagha means pure. Their personalities are balanced and focused and reflective. And Puja Swami Tejomayananda had shared, this is all you have to do. Then the trust triangle will make you Bharata. These are the two names by which Shri Krishna calls Prince Arjuna. First line, Anagha, you do that. If you do that, the momentum will lead you to feel filled with the light. So please don't make it complex. Don't be confused about what the purpose of your day is today. The purpose of your lifetime is to be Anagha.